Once upon a time, there lived a very handsome and rich man named Zimuzo. Zimuzo had everything he wanted, except for one thing: a wife. Many maidens in the village dreamed of being his wife, but Zimuzo refused to marry any of them. He wanted a wife who was very beautiful, very tall, fair, and intelligent. None of the maidens in the village seemed to have all these qualities. Zimuzo's parents were worried. They tried to introduce him to many wonderful maidens, but Zimuzo always found something wrong with each of them. Every night, Zimuzo would sit outside his hut, gazing at the moon and wishing to see a woman of his choice. The villagers began to call him proud, and even his friends told him he would never find a woman who met his high standards. One night, while gazing at the moon, Zimuzo spoke aloud. "Oh moon, please fulfill my wish and bring me the woman of my dreams." Suddenly, a figure flashed like lightning. Zimuzo felt a strange confidence that he would soon meet his desired wife. The next day, Zimuzo traveled to a nearby village for business. In the market, he saw a maiden who took his breath away. She was very beautiful, very tall, fair, and intelligent. The way she spoke and attended to him made his heart skip a beat. Zimuzo knew at that moment that she was the one. The following day, Zimuzo went back to the market just to see her again. He bought all her goods and went home, but he couldn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about her and decided to propose the next day. Early in the morning, Zimuzo went to the market, but the maiden was not there. Disappointed, he returned home. In the evening, he went back to the village, hoping to see her. Just when he was about to leave, she suddenly appeared. Overjoyed, Zimuzo proposed to her on the spot. The maiden hesitated, saying she didn't know him well, but Zimuzo assured her they would get to know each other soon. Zimuzo invited the maiden to his place to show his parents his dream woman. The next day, she came to his village, and anyone who saw her confirmed she was very beautiful. She met with Zimuzo and his parents. There was no doubt she was stunning, but Zimuzo's parents felt uneasy. They tried to talk Zimuzo out of marrying her, but he insisted she was the one he wanted to marry. Zimuzo gave the maiden a gift to show his affection, a beautiful necklace made of gold and precious stones. The maiden accepted it with a smile, and Zimuzo's heart swelled with joy. He felt certain he had found his perfect match. Days passed and the wedding preparations began. Zimuzo was happier than ever, but his parents remained worried. They couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling about the maiden. One evening, Zimuzo's mother decided to visit the village wise old woman, Mama, for advice. "Mama," Zimuzo's mother began, "Zimuzo has found a maiden he wishes to marry. She is beautiful and seems perfect, but something feels wrong. I need your guidance." Mama closed her eyes and chanted softly. After a few moments, she opened her eyes and looked deeply concerned. "There is something strange about this maiden," she said. "She is not what she seems. Be careful." Zimuzo's mother's worry grew, but she didn't know how to convince Zimuzo. Meanwhile, Zimuzo and the maiden spent more time together, and Zimuzo grew more and more enchanted by her. One night, Zimuzo had a strange dream. He saw the maiden standing under the moonlight, but she looked different. Her eyes glowed eerily, and she floated above the ground. Zimuzo woke up in a cold sweat, but he brushed it off, thinking it was just a nightmare. The next evening, the villagers gathered for the engagement ceremony, as Onwama, the maiden, insisted the marriage should be in the night. Onwama looked even more beautiful than before, and Zimuzo couldn't take his eyes off her. As the ceremony began, a sudden gust of wind blew through the village, extinguishing all the candles and lamps. The wise old woman, Mama, stepped forward and addressed the crowd. "This is a sign," she said. "There is a secret you must uncover before this marriage can proceed." Zimuzo, though nervous, stood by Onwama. "I love her," he declared. "Whatever it is, we can face it together." Mama nodded and took out a small pouch filled with sacred herbs. She sprinkled the herbs around Onwama and chanted ancient words. Suddenly, Onwama began to change. Her beautiful face twisted, and her fair skin turned ghostly pale. The crowd gasped in horror. "I'm not of this world," Onwama confessed, her voice echoing like a distant wail. "I'm a spirit bound to the mortal realm by a wish made under the moonlight." Zimuzo's heart broke. He realized his wish had brought him a ghost wife. Tears filled his eyes as he looked at the spirit maiden. "I wished for someone perfect, but I didn't understand the cost." The spirit maiden floated towards Zimuzo, her eyes filled with sorrow. "I wanted to be with you, but I cannot stay in your world. You must let me go." With a heavy heart, Zimuzo nodded. The spirit smiled one last time before disappearing into the night, leaving behind the necklace Zimuzo had given her. The villagers stood in silence, and Zimuzo fell to his knees, holding the necklace tightly. From that day on, Zimuzo learned the true meaning of love and perfection. He realized that no one is perfect, and true love comes from accepting each other's flaws. He became kinder and more understanding, and eventually, he found a real woman to share his life with, one who was not perfect, but perfect for him. And so, Zimuzo's story became a lesson for everyone in the village. Be careful what you wish for, and appreciate the beauty in imperfection. This is Umma's story time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I am Amarachi Ihoma, the young storyteller.